College football season is here, and I got to give you the 10 things that I'm looking forward to watching in week 1, the things that are going to shape all of college football talking points for the beginning of the season, and we're combining week 0 with this one because you're going to watch other shows and they're going to talk about this 2-3 weeks from now, and you already have the answers to the test right now. Thank you for being here and being one of us. I'm George Wrighster, former NFL player, college football player, and college football analyst. Let's get to why you came here. The 10 reasons. Number 10, a quarterback has to rise to the challenge in Ireland. And we're talking about Iowa State versus Kansas State and their quarterbacks, Rocco, Becht, and Avery Johnson, because both of them have been very good so far in their career. But most of the Big 12 hype coming into the season about the quarterbacks, it's involved Josh Hoover, Sam Levitt, or Sawyer Robinson over there at Baylor. But Becht and Johnson, they are going to have the stage to themselves in week 0 and the entire kickoff to the college football season. And one of these teams is going to end up with a leg up in Big 12 play and likely secure a spot as a top 15 team, which is exactly what the Big 12 needs if they are going to compete for not 1, but 2 college football playoff bids. Number 9. Can Boise State still run the rock? On Thursday, August 28th, Boise State heads to South Florida without the Raiders running back, Mr. Ashton Jeanty. Now, this is a sneaky good matchup because USF has been dangerous under their head coach, Alex Golesh. Now, he is 14-12 in his last 2 seasons at the helm, which is crazy when you consider that the dude took over a program that was 4-30 under his predecessor, Mr. Jeff Scott. And it's not like Boise is coming into this game with far superior talent. These teams were ranked right next to each other in the 2025 247 rankings at number 61 and number 62. Now, Sire Gaines is going to be a running back for Boise State. Now, it is his time. It is his opportunity to take the spotlight and continue the legacy of NFL backs that come out of that program, because Boise State has put out a lot, and it's not just Ashton Jeanty, because you got Alexander Madison, George Halani, and you had the muscle hamster that was playing down there in Tampa Bay for a long time. So will Boise State be able to run the ball? And can they win without Ashton Jeanty at such a high level? Leave it in the comments. Number 8, 2 quarterbacks on opposite ends of the hype machine are squaring off in the beginning of the college football season. You got Dylan Raiola over there in Nebraska, and you got Brendan Sorsby over there at Cincinnati, because there's a lot of pressure on Dylan Raiola, because he has to look good in this game, because he finished last season after coming in as a hotshot recruit, number 1 overall, committed to Georgia, flipped to his dad's alma mater, Nebraska, and he finished last season with 4 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in his last 8 games. Nebraska was trying to upgrade their offensive coordinator situation, so they hired Dana Holgorsen as their full-time OC, and they actually found some serious wide receiver talent in the transfer portal that is supposed to support the former number 1 recruit in the nation. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, you got Brendan Sorsby. This kid has found himself on the back end of a lot of Big 12 quarterback rankings, despite having a big arm, NFL size, and the ability to run the football. Now, if Sorsby outperforms Raiola in this game, it might finally earn the kids some respect. But neither quarterback nor neither program, because Nebraska's trying to come up and be back, they can't afford to go out and have their offense that can't move the football at all. Number 7. What is Colorado going to look like post-Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter? Because Colorado starts out the season with a home game at a new look school that is known for physicality. Colorado starts the season. They started out with a home game with a new look team, and they're playing against a school that is known for their physicality. And no disrespect to Georgia Tech's head coach, Mr. Brent Key, but 95% of the eyeballs in this game are going to be looking for things to either love or hate about the Colorado Buffaloes 2025 roster. They want to see if Deion Sanders, if he can play without his son, if he even desires to play without his son. And will his spring absence due to cancer, is that going to galvanize the team, or are they going to look disorganized? And will there be a commitment to the run game? And will we see more than one quarterback play? Will it be Julian Lewis, or will it be Caden Salter? And how much or how will they play? because I am watching this game and I know that you will be too. And this is a huge game for Georgia Tech as well, because there's a lot of people on the outside that believe that this could be a 10-2 team and a team that could go to the ACC championship and maybe even the college football playoff. But if you lose this game to Colorado, it probably ain't happening. Number 6, are these two transfer quarterbacks the saviors for their team? And we're talking about UCLA and Utah, because they square off in week 1 of college football. Both the Bruins and the Utes, they are desperate. They are desperate to prove that the 2024 season was an anomaly, and that both programs, they brought in big time quarterbacks, big name quarterbacks to help them do it. UCLA landed former 5-star Nico Iamaleava after his messy divorce with Tennessee. So you know that SEC fans are going to be watching this game and tuned in to see if he fails or if he succeeds. If he succeeds, they're going to be like, see, look, that shows how tough the SEC is. If he fails, they're going to be like, oh my God, see, I told you, we needed to get rid of the kid. He stinks. So everybody's going to be tuned in to that late Saturday night game, and they're going to be rooting for the Utes. And Utah, they went out and they decided to scoop up the best athlete at quarterback available and his New Mexico offensive coordinator in Mr. Devon Dampier. Now, Dampier rushed for 800 yards in his final 6 games last year, and he's looking at a UCLA defense that had all of their linebackers head out to the NFL last year, and it could be an opportunity to make his name on a much bigger stage. And Utah's head coach, Kyle Whittingham, he said he couldn't go out after last season, so he is going to be back with a vengeance, and hopefully his quarterback can stay healthy, unlike last year. Number 5, did Syracuse volunteer for an ass whooping? That's the question, because their head coach, Fran Brown, he has been a breath of fresh air in college football. The honesty, the candor, the openness, and it has made Syracuse a legit contender in the ACC because of his ability to recruit and his high-powered offense. But what Tennessee did to NC State in the beginning of the 2024 season, it sent the Wolfpack season literally into a spiral. Now, I'm going to be watching this game to see if Syracuse can withstand getting punched in the mouth by Tennessee, because they don't have to win this game. But they cannot afford to go out to Atlanta, where Fran Brown is known and respected and recruits, and get absolutely, just kicked down the street. They have to cover that 14.5 point spread. Number 4, it's the hot seat roulette, because one of the sneaky best games in the early slate is you have Baylor hosting Auburn. Now, Baylor's head coach, Dave Aranda, he went into the 2024 season literally on the hot seat. But Jake Spavital's offense and his quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, they actually helped him to live to fight another season. And now the expectations in Waco is that the offense, yes, that it is going to do its job. But the head coach, Aranda, is a defensive guy, and he has to hold up his end of the bargain if Baylor is going to exceed expectations this year. Now, they're playing host to Auburn, who has been recruiting like the 2010s Alabama lately, but they don't have the wins to show that they're actually better with Hugh Freeze than they were with their guy who got fired, Mr. Brian Harsin, who technically has a better record than Hugh Freeze did through this many games, through this many seasons. And this is why there is nothing like college football, because you got jobs, reputations, and seasons being on the line literally in week 1, because both of these teams, they aren't even in the top 25 right now, but we are going to be watching those because people believe that they could sneak up and sneak in. Do you believe? Here's the question. Leave it in the comments. Number 3, can Thomas Castellanos back up the trash talk with Florida State against Alabama? Because FSU's head coach, Mike Norvell, they had an awful season last year, and he brought in Gus Malzahn, his former mentor, to help out with that offense, and he got a new quarterback in Thomas Castellanos, who transferred from Boston College. And now they're both down in Tallahassee trying to fix things, because this team, they needed a shot of confidence. And those men literally are as confident as it gets right now, because you've had Thomas Castellanos share some of his thoughts about the post-Nick Saban era at Alabama, saying that nobody's afraid of Alabama right now. They're not afraid. They're not scared. And there is some truth in that sentiment, but then you got to go out there and literally back it up. Crimson Tide players and their fans, they're like, okay, sure. All right, keep keep talking. And they are 2 touchdown favorites in Alabama, so there has to be a little bit of pressure there as well. And of course, people want to watch Florida State, Alabama because the enthusiasm for both of those brands. But the casual fans, they are going to be tuned in because this has been boxing pay-per-view level promotion. Because one guy was literally like, we gonna knock you out. And the other guy was like, all right, fam, we gonna see. This game is huge for Alabama after they didn't make the college football playoff last year because their head coach, Kalen DeBoer, is going to be under fire if they lose to Florida State. People are gonna be judging this close as everything else. And Florida State, if they lose this game and they get housed, sentiments are going to be changing about Mr. Mike Norvell, despite him being a really good football coach. Number 2, Brian Kelly at LSU versus slow starts. Brian Kelly has not won a season opener at LSU. And do we think that a night road game at Clemson is going to be the cure for that? Because this is a game that some people have predicted could start and end the season. I wonder who. Because I have both of these teams in the college football playoff. I have both of these quarterbacks as Heisman finalists. And yes, it is a long season that isn't dependent necessarily on the outcome of this game, but our lizard brains are going to cling to the themes and make it even bigger than it necessarily is. And then you have LSU go in and do well in the SEC. People, they can't say that the ACC is weak or this and that, because those are going to be the talking points. That's why this game matters so much. And here's the truth about Brian Kelly in this situation. It is going to take a trip to the national championship for the national media to stop talking about one of the best coaches in America like he is completely incapable of preparing his roster in the beginning of the season. So who do you think wins, Clemson or LSU? Number 1, Arch Manning versus the champs. Because I believe Arch Manning, the dude has literally reached a maximum level of overhype. And at this rate, he's going to have to cure world hunger, solve the Israeli-Palestine conflict, throw 7 touchdowns on Caleb Downs in week 1 in Ohio State to literally justify the amount of attention that he's received leading into this season. Now, the real story in this game, it should be that the best player in college football in Jeremiah Smith versus the best secondary in the country in Texas. But no, Arch storylines have sucked up all the oxygen in the room. And this game will go a lot to how we talk about Arch, how we talk about the Big Ten versus the SEC, and how many each team gets in the college football playoff. And you guys, those are the top 10 things that I'm looking forward to in week 1 of college football. Make sure that you like, subscribe, get notifications, tell a friend about the Unafraid Show, and be one of us.